because the real medicine's in the multi-dimensional, where we create, don't you know, where we're consciously in that creation and creating with it. You see, some people call it co-creation. See, that makes you two separate things. It ain't. It's a united effort, and it flows for you, through you in a particular way, at a particular resonation, a particular harmony. It's just you, no one else, man. You know, it's you. You're the little piccolo at the back of the band that gets the grandstand, because, man, there wouldn't be a band without you, you know it? You're the one that comes shining through when that high emotional stuff needs to get out there, man. You got that sweet little tiny piccolo that sings like a very high angel, don't you know? You can just see, oh, man. I tell you, you know, it just made me think of something. And speaking of angels, I got buzzed by one yesterday. Almost ran right into my face, man. Little hummingbird goes, zoom. He wanted me to know he was back, man. And where the hell is that feeder? Well, I haven't put up a feeder in a long time. I think they do just fine. I watch them getting in my flowers and stuff. But yeah, we've had a colder spring this year, so the flowers ain't quite popped up yet. They're doing the next couple of weeks, so the cactus are going to be gorgeous this year. They got buds all over them, man, little prickly pears. Oh, wow. There's going to be a color explosion out here, something like what you get there in the Mojave, but not quite. Nothing can beat the dry old Mojave, or Mojave, as they say in California. Shit, they don't know nothing, man. Mojave, that's what it is. Anyway, down there in the Mojave Desert, you know, when they've had a wet spring, ooh, everything, you know, there in April sometime, everything just goes boing, and it's just a carpet of color for miles and miles and miles around you, man. You know, you just want to, you know, drive way off the road, get out there and run around naked in all them flowers, man. But don't step on a sidewinder or nothing, or a scorpion or nothing, okay? Well, be wise along your way, but enjoy. That's a beautiful time of year. Well, it's going to be kind of like that here, but not quite, because we just don't have enough vegetation to support such an explosion, you know. But one of these years, you never know. Maybe this year, maybe this year it will turn back into a tropical paradise here at 9,000 feet high. You just never know, man, in the Rocky Mountain sky. You just never know, man, what's going to happen here. You know, when you see activity in the skies all around you, and you feel movement in the earth, and you feel unity flowing into yourself, and from that basis, where you're centering up inside, you're able to flow more outward in creation in all directions, don't you see? And it's like, wow. You know, you're feeling a little lightheaded in the 3D, but lighthearted too goes right along with it. So you're going to have to learn to be lightheaded. Maybe you're like me, you like to brew over things, you know. Contemplate, as they say, you know. Well, that's a good thing in its own way, but, you know, if you just let it flow, you don't even have to think about it no more, you know. And your mind says, well, what am I going to do then? Well, be creation, baby, and enjoy it. Shit. Somebody offers you an easy ride, don't refuse it. Shoot. Man, be with it, baby, you know. And this is what everybody in this reality is learning. By what? Going through it the hard way. When that easy ride comes out to play, you're going to take it immediately, because, well, your time here in the old amusement park's over with, man. Time to, you know, transform this shit and get on with something more beautiful, okay? This has been rocking, man. I'm not knocking anything that's happened here. It's all been kind of righteous in its own weird-ass way. But, babies, you know, it's been about ancient saints and souls, putting them to the test of obliteration by, you know, subjecting themselves to some of the worst torments there can ever be. I mean, like, you know, just the places you can be. I can't even convey the images I have in my mind right now are just too dark, but they're bright too. Because, see, I found a heart in the darkest son of a gun in the universe, man. You know, and I found that dark heart right alongside my bright heart, right along inside of me. You know, I could project it outward and have it differently, and I could see it in a whole lot of different ways. But see, once it began to realize that it was still made of light and therefore of love, it began changing. Just like I told you last week, Stan and Lucy sat down at the same table, looked each other in the eye, and they began to cry. And said, what the hell we been doing here, man? You know, etc. This is transformation. This is what it's all about. Now, those are just figureheads in a metaphorical sense, yet they're very real beings in another sense. You know, some of the paternal eternal that got a little out of whack. See, so we had to bring them back, Jack. That's what we've been doing here, bringing ourselves back right along with them. Because if our creation's out of whack, so are we. So we had to give it a little corrective surgery here, man, you know, right here in the 3D, but not in a surgical sense that we made it all cut up and bloody, but in the sense that we, you know, perform what we would call reintegration. And that's a major, major change inside. It's like, you know, a transplant in a way, but not of a heart. No. It's an awakening to the reality of the true heart of creation and the center being of your presence. You know, and it's rooted right down into this earth, and it's got its roots right there in the sky too, man. It goes both ways, you know. We're the living vessel of that love, man. Each one of us, you know, that powerful ray of light passing through us, creating all that we are, and the arc field around us as well, which is beginning, as I say, in a joking sort of way, but not so much now today. It's expanding, wouldn't you say? And its touch will be felt by those around you, by those around them. Because you're all about, you know, lighting them up. By letting yourself be all lit up too. See, you don't have to know. You don't have to go out and get drunk, make a fool out of yourself. Well, some will do that because that's an interesting way to play the game, don't you know? Ooh, not this kid. Ooh, enough of that kind of flow. Wow, you know, and how? Well, I mean, once in a while, of course. You know, you got to party, but not too hardy. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? I've learned there's a little bit of balance in everything when you hear the harmony of life flowing through you. It comes naturally to you, man, and you bring it into every place you be. That's what I'm talking about in the expanding reality. Golden flow of life flows through us, you know, from both directions, high and low, man, and low and high. And then it expands outward in all the directions. The four basic directions are the root anchors of it, but in all directions. We're right there in the center of it, you see. And you'll see that as a crystalline light that surrounds you ultimately. And then you'll see that as the sphere of light. And the crystalline energy, just the balance point, the center of it. And there you are right at the center of that crystalline energy, see? You remember that now? It's a vision. It's pretty fantastic, ain't it? It's real. See, that's our deal. And then you begin to see from inside of the crystalline energy, you begin to see much more clearly. You're way beyond what we thought was the 3D. And out of time and out of space and into all of it. Feeling it. Being it. It's the most contented feeling there could ever be. Whatever it was that haunted you and brought you to where you are now, brought you in just the right way. You took on the load you needed to take. You carried it. And babies, now you can let go of the heartache. And bless yourself with the reward, the love of life that you've been carrying all this time. In a misdirected sort of way. See, it's an upside down and backwards world, wouldn't you say, or pretty much. So when you're carrying the cross, man, you're carrying cross fire. And you're burning the crap out of any such conception by proving the love in everything that you do. It ain't no sacrifice anymore, now is it? It's a rainbow. And we're right there in the middle of it. We're where it begins, we're where it ends, and we're all of it created around it, and everything in it, baby, is the colorful life coming from the pure golden light of the purest love there could ever be. Centrally. Located in us naturally. Now get out there and wiggle that central wave a little bit, man. You ain't no slave. You are a rainbow, man. This is the time to get in the glow. This is the time to rock with the roll. Follow your heart. Follow the flow. Be in love with that life that you're living. Don't you know? It's so good, baby. It feels good too, don't it? Wow. Get here on Hazy Radio. Oh, now we're with Grandpa and Okie and oh man, we got Mary Jane, we got lots of grandkids, we got coyotes and buffaloes and magic dragons and, you know, even a little crystalline energy hanging out here, and it all just rocks when you rock with it, okay? That's why we're rocking here today at Spring Creek. Oh, the craziest little rock and roll radio show there could ever be, but it's bringing you back to sanity. babies. Oh, it's all given in the song of the heart, darlings. Life is a living work of art, and so is every moment in it. I treasure all of them, don't you? Yes, indeedy, we embrace them too, man. In the center of our heart, we recognize the specter of life that Mary Jane brings back to life. Helps us see, helps us be. There ain't no such thing as a last dance with Mary Jane. You might think it's the end of your romance, but the energy goes on forever. You don't have to be token inside to take the ride. You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Because the ride's already there. The high is inside of you. You can never forget it. It's there. It's living. It's you. It's when you expand it into consciousness too, man. And you had it there. See? So just keep it there, man. And if you feel like you've drifted away, well, there's no other way to play than drifting right back to it, wouldn't you say? That's easier. But any way you go, it's all multidimensional. So it leads to the same place. Back to the center of our presence, the very center of our heart. The very center of the source of our loving creation, of the person that we are, that we've brought forward to be here. However we've played the part, man, we've lived it like the living work of art that we are. We believed every little moment of it, man, and we believed in it too. Now we don't have to. Just let that belief go. Feel the life, don't you know? Feel the flow. Beliefs get in the way now, man. They restrict the flow. Tell it it's got to go this way, you've got to go that. No, no, no. The flow of love finds its own channel, finds its own way, quite naturally, the same way the river do on its journey to the sea, man. Well, that's the flow of humanity, don't you see? We're to that point now when we're down that delta country, man. We're spreading out into the ocean now, man. And we're making it rich with the nurturance of life. There is no place on earth where there's more life than the abundance of life you find where the river meets the sea and the ocean of love begins there and spreads across the land and the sea. See, that's the beginning and the end right there. The end of a long journey of the river, the beginning of the ocean, baby. It goes on forever. It's infinite. That's our experience in it. It's a flow. It's a wave. It's an emotion, you know, the flow of the ocean. That's why it feels kind of liquid here. And that's why we have liquidity primarily, because that's where the feeling is. That's the vessel between organic and the etheric. That's where the emotions are, the feelings and the flow. But it's etheric too, don't you know? It's multi-dimensional. And it's all made of this one single little element of love right there in the center of your heart, man. And now it's starting to shine bright because you're starting to get it right, man. Yeah, you're starting to let that heart take flight. And with this old heart, we do unite. The old heart of sweet Mary Jane in her papal presence right here, helping you get it clear. Pope Mary Jane, herself in himself, wouldn't you say? Now you know the way you really play. And it's not, you know, androgynous. No way. It's totally passionate about every little moment it lives. It loves it so, don't you know? Come here. Let Mama nuzzle you, baby. Here on the Hazy Radio Network. Oh, yeah, I sound like an auctioneer now. Like, I got something to sell, baby. Well, I'm just opening the door. It says this is the way out of hell, man. You know, you want to live a life that's really, really nice. You want to be filled with, like, sugar plums, sugar and spice. You know, Christmas every day. That's why I leave my tree up all the time, man, because it's Christmas all the time. You know, that's the time of gift giving, right? That's when even the hard-hearted old fools like Scrooge find their way, man, even if we have to persuade them a little bit difficultly. Well, see, that's what I live each moment of my life. And such sweet things come my way. And I know they do yours too, man. We're all in the same flow, don't you know? Just got to recognize it, man. We've been running with the buffalo so long we forgot we were the herd as well as our little private self right here. Oh, my God, my little vessel, don't touch me. There, I just had my first nervous breakdown on air, but I've lived to tell about it, okay? Now you know what it is when a real heart comes out to play. They're inside of you. They're inside of me too. Inside of the angels that surround us. Inside of the love of this Mother Earth, which nuzzles us up to her breast and never lets us go, man. No, she's not making you nurse till you're 10,000 years old or anything. No, 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 no. She's just holding you, baby, right there in the space of her heart, right there in the center of her love, man. That's where she's holding you. And you feel the firmness of the Father in her. You see, it's all together quite naturally. So don't try to separate it anymore. Get with the flow. Let it all flow together, don't you know? And all you will see, instead of light and dark, is life flowing quite naturally, and the flow of the river of love becoming the abundant life to right where we begin there, where the river meets the sea, and the babies begin to see and sing that song of harmony, which is the symphony of life, the rock opera of love, in its most rockin' art ever created, which is human beings, man. Yeah, you little gnomes, you little fairies, and all the rest of you, man, you know, upside down and backwards though we may be, we learn to live it quite colorfully. And in the bleakest of times find passion and connection and all this good shit, man. We kept this life together through hell, man. We've been on the highway through hell forever and ever, man. And we did it. We made it. You know, we're like Cheech and Chong. Yeah, I know I sound a little bit like them sometimes. Can't help it. I love those guys. But anyway, we're like Cheech and Chong with that van made totally out of weed. What a great way to import. You know, they search the whole vehicle. Ain't going to find no weed because the vehicle's made out of weed. Cheech and Chong, I love them, man. So they've been on the highway. We've been on the highway to hell in a bus made out of weed, just like they have, man. You know, it's like, wow. Sometimes it felt like we were flying, too, because we got so damn high. I didn't know the exhaust was smoking us down and bringing us around, did we? See, that's the magic of Mary Jane. And that's why the dance you have with her lives forever. You got it? You're starting to catch on? I thought so, man. I really appreciate it. You know, you're a happy heart today, and it's good to see you come out and play on a tremendously tripping Tuesday here on the Hazy Radio Network with Grandpa Coyote, a whole raft of angelic friends, including my little co-pilot, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and all of you tuned in, and all of you across face this earth that, just loving it and not leaving it, man. Oh, baby. Whew. Thanks for sticking around, because I tell you, this is where it gets rowdy. It's fun. Man, we're approaching a full moon. Watch out, babies. You know, don't be howling at the moon now unless you really, really feel that primal urge. Then sing the song of the heart in that howl, okay? Because that's the coyote sort of way. It's Spring Creek. You know, can you hear him singing now? I thought so. Right there across the screen of your heart, okay? HazyRadio.com. We got it on early in the day when Grandpa and Okie come out to play. Space, life, everything begins. I mean, that's Spring Creek, man. That's the headwaters, too, see? It's that little place way up on the mountain where two drops get together and create the valley of life and the river of love. Right there, man. Two little drops, man. Well, sometimes it's 4, sometimes it's 18 or more. I mean, it just depends, but a few little drops, let's say, you know, because it's not just isolated like that, like we've been here in this reality, too. Wow, man. No wonder we were all so blue. We thought it just took 2, man. It takes all of us. Don't you see? Yes, us, every one of us, man. And, you know, we can't leave anybody or anything out. I don't care what their nationality, their religious beliefs, or tribal affiliation, or whatever, man. Jeez, get over it, will you, please, man? That's brainwashing. That's thought control. That's you being pushed around and feeling different than others, don't you know? Maybe all bloated up inside because you feel so damn insecure, man. You can't help it. I know. Just let it go. See? There. See? It's easy, isn't it? It's easy to be the flow. It's easy to be the center of life when you just realize you're made of love. And everything around you is too, baby. And that does change your view of life forever and ever. It's a moment where, you know, clarity becomes our reality. Where the rubber meets the road, where the plane takes off and instantly reaches that higher plane and arrives, you see. That's the pilot to crew quite naturally. This is the heart coming through in a loud and clear sort of way. Here on the Hazy Radio Network today. Because we love you so, and it's radio, baby. It's grand entertainment, don't you know? Oh, baby's the medicine of heart and soul, and the living of that emotional life inside of that with great passion. And, man, after a while, it develops skill. It takes a while to get there, so you got to be a little patient with yourself. You know, like the reindeer has to wait, you know, for the fuzz to wear off of its beautiful, gigantic horns before it really feels like a whole person again, you know. In the springtime, it just gets all ranting and raving like you don't want. That's why Christmas is not in the springtime, really, because, wow, the reindeer are just, I mean, it would be chaos across. Yeah, no, no, no. Santa Claus don't go that way, man. I'll tell you. He know better. So we do it in the middle of winter when they're all calm and placid. Their horns are beautiful and they can shine bright as they fly through the night and just look so doggone gorgeous, don't you know? So that's the flow you get. It's the medicine of Santa Claus, don't you know, in a symbolic sort of way, because I'm definitely kind of a backwards Santa Claus when you say I got my rough side out, my jolly side in, you know, and my reindeer are like made by Harley Davidson. But no, I'm kidding about that, for real. It's like, we got the real reindeer babies, you know, but they're really like UFOs, man, you know. Well, they can be reindeer too. They can appear as anything. They're living life like me and you. And, you know, we give up the life of illusion. We begin to see through the 3D, man, by doing like creation does. Dissolve right into it. So you think it's like a death, man, because you have to give up your person. You think, that's what, oh my God. You know, I'm dying. See, a lot of you have been going through those feelings lately. You think somebody's attacking you or something, or you're attacking somebody. No. It's a wake-up call, babies. It's like reality shining through inside of you, you see. And there's lots of resistance that is programmed into us genetically and otherwise, spiritually too. You know, I mean, the vibrational harmony has been warped and been messed with a little bit, you know. So we've been running around like the Boston Pops does in that symphonic representation of rock opera they gave quite some time ago, where the whole orchestra was in complete disharmony. Every instrument was pulling in a different direction, and it was shite. I mean, it hurt to hear it. He's like, what am I doing listening to this crap? You're just about ready to shut it off. If you don't get too swept away in that hostility, you know, if you just, you know, feel the love, you know, that they're trying to express in that chaotic sort of way, you know. I mean, they're an orchestra, man. It takes a while to get it together, see. So that's where humanity's been, you know. We didn't recognize our vibrational harmony, so we didn't know how to play it. So our tonage was warped, off center, you know. There were beats, disbeats between our harmonies with disharmonies, you know, and shit like that, you know. It was really crazy, man. You know, you go to the wine store and you wind up buying weed these days, you know, because it's better than wine. But the two of them together are really, really fine, wouldn't you say? So try some weed with your wine today, or wine with your weed, as we would say, because we're all hippies. We go for the weed naturally. But I understand a lot of people are like live in Indiana, where you go to federal penitentiary if you think any thoughts about marijuana, you know. Well, it's changing now. Thank goodness we're rising above the 3D, and police state can't screw with you like so unnaturally. See, we've been living contrary to everything, but that's the illusion, because you can be. You see, the orchestra, the rock bands, they cannot be in disharmony. It's not their nature. They come together because personalities and personal expressions flow together. And they find a unity of feeling in the tunage they create. There's a singular flow comes through them, don't you know? That's why they love jamming, because out of that comes the reality of some real rock and roll, man. You have to cut it out and medicine it up a little bit, don't you know? But wow. And how. That's where the real creativity comes in. And you listen to any of the real rock stars around this earth, you know. We interview them once in a while here, but not very often, man, because we don't want that shit getting in. We don't want personalities getting in the way, you know. It's all about dissolving that personality. But you see, it's not a giving up of anything. It's an acceptance of a reality beyond this one. That, yeah, we have been fooled. And been fools in a paradigm we really didn't understand our place in. And it made us silly and insane and crazy as hell. And, you know, we tried to rip apart the fabric of life. We got invaded by some energies, or at least we thought of it as an invasion, and reduced down in our status of life to almost nothing. And we had to come from the dirt on back up as the human race. And it's been a long old ride, and man, we didn't have much guidance along the way, yet it's perfectly syncopated, babies. I mean, it all leads to this place where we are now. Same way the path of a river from the tall mountain to where it meets the sea is quite ruggedy. You know, and it goes through all kinds of different stages and steps. There's rapids, there's waterfalls, there's, 10,000-foot waterfalls, some mountains, man. I mean, there's, it can be wild. It can be quite a ride, man. That's a long fall, And humanity felt like we went over the falls quite some time ago when all of this paradigm shift came in on us. Well, so a lot of people, because we're facing a paradigm shift now, are feeling the same kind of anxiety as when we, went over the waterfall, not realizing there is a place where the water rejoins itself. That it has to go through this long fall to etherize and charge itself with the ethers, the atmospheres. So the river is fresh as it runs on down from the pool of love below the waterfall and spreads its wealth to life all around it and nourishes and strengthens the life that it's already created, just so it could nourish and strengthen it and experience it in the flow of that ethereal water, don't you know, which is liquid too in form. It's all kind of liquid. That's the reality of that 3D brought to us. But, it's really an unfamiliar feeling, But now we just let go. Like creation. This is what we were created for. And like creation, we just let go. We let ourselves dissolve into that. It's not about the personal person that we are. We'll always be that. That's what we are. But so is everything else around us, too. That's us united. The greatest tribe of buffalo there ever was. And you talk about walking in perfect syncopation. We do, babies. Without even thinking about it. It's just a flow. If you just let go and dissolve into it. Now that doesn't mean dissolve away. No. That means let your feeling expand from the center outward into everything else. So that you feel that too. Don't be afraid. See, and it's not just that. You do kind of like let the person move into that life and become a one person in everything. So your experience is kind of singular, even though it's everything that is. Then you understand the nature of creation. We accommodate ourselves in the growing experience of life that the heart was created to experience, that passion is not something meant to be as warped and as misappreciated and misapplied as it is here. Real passion comes from the heart, and it's the strongest thing there ever does. It can make the water rise up 10,000 feet and flow backwards if it wants to. It can do anything in the 3D paradigm there is to be, because we are the magic of this mystic love that creates it all. Dissolving, resolving, let's say, instead of dissolving, but it feels like dissolving, so dissolution, because it is. It's letting go of a divine paradigm that was really undivine. It was upside down and backwards. It's pulling ourselves out of the world of illusion, the world of reflection, the world of mirrors, into the thing that we thought shimmery and beyond us was spirit, was multi-dimensional presences. That was, our view was really warped from here because we're on the wrong side of the mirror, man. But see, actually, we never did anything but extend our presence partially into that and went to sleep while we were watching. We were kind of hypnotized by what was going on there in the mirrors, see? So we were living on both sides of it the whole time. And in fact, on this side was just a little of our person, in a way. But it kept repeating itself here and there and here and there. We really did a lot. And we really enjoyed the ride. But we got to recognize now and remember it is a ride. And it's time to wake up and be the heart, be the person that creates all of this. Be experiencing it this way. Then you understand what we mean by the flow of creation and the river of love, the river of life, which are the same river, really. One flows that way, one flows that way, but both flow parallel to one another, too. You see, life is expansive. So instead of the river being the drainage that we've seen it as, so the land could, accept the water of life and then at the same time drain off all the residue in the water of life into the river. And so it became quite rich with, dissolution as it got and got thick and gooey sometimes towards the end of the run, meeting the river to the sea. But now we just kind of dissolve all that away naturally. Being in the dream of love, we can re-scheme the love as we live it, see. In this moment of time, we allow the flow to take us where we want to go. See, all we hold is intention and the desire to fulfill our purpose. And the rest, well, it comes kind of automatic. It's not exactly completely automatic. We do a lot as a person, of course, the way a molecule works and refinement, whatever it's doing there, but it's got its own little thing. And we're all like that. Every element of creation is like that, serves a specific purpose, as well as the grander function of experiencing creation and creating experience in that creation. Round and round, but it's a spiral. And it goes ever up, outward, outward, outward. It seems like upward from here because it seems like down, you know, but it's not. This is the point of beginning. This is Spring Creek. This is your moment of truth. This is the headwaters of life inside of each person in here, in this heart, in this singularity of presence we call the grandest love there could ever be, because it creates naturally. That's the message of nature around us, but it's a message, not a way. The way is the flow of life. That's nature, for real. The nature around us, just like everything else in this 3D, is expressed a little differently, yet it contained that divine harmony. It was syncopated, a lot more than we felt syncopated with the life, right? See, but in this unity feeling, as we allow ourselves to dissolve energetically into the creation around us. Now, I mean, it really does astound us because we can feel it all, know every presence in it, know exactly what's going on here in a far more energetically aware way. We find our place in the grand harmony of life, the rock opera of love, which gives all this life motivation to be again, and becomes lived expansively this way. So you're still experiencing from the singular point just like all of creation does. But yet you're still all of that creation experiencing the singular point too. Isn't it beautiful? It's coyote medicine through and through. But when you got it, you got it. And you will forever expand and grow. That's just the way we go. Here on the Hazy Radio Network on this little coyote medicine show we call Spring Creek. Point of beginning, don't you know? Wherever it is along that flow, it's always just beginning. And now, yeah, and how we reverse the flow. We nurture it all, don't you know? The flow goes wherever it is needed. And throughout the life, the love is re-journeyed in a way. It's re-experienced from the conscious presence of this little explosive bit of awareness we gathered in a Rocky Mountain sort of way here on this radio network we call Hazy. Now we're getting it clear, dear. It's a trip, baby, don't you see?